Houston, we have a problem. Jofra Archer is going to be steaming in. Bishnoi in the form of his life. Jaddu, the man who's taken most wickets of RCB batsmen, has a point to prove. Their opening pair is on fire. And some ninth grader just hit the best bowler in the world for a six the first time he ever saw him. And it might rain. This is our toughest test of the year so far. This is the Red and Bowl Show, and this is our RR preview. Let's get into it. Okay, gentlemen, 2 games in. We handled everything at home. SRH ended up being easy. CSK couldn't hold a candle. But this one feels different. Our 3-0, they just dispatched the strongest team on paper like they were playing against CSK. Friday night in Guwahati, this is the definition of a top-of-the-table clash, an all-royal encounter. Let's talk about what's actually at stake here. First away game of the season, no Chinnaswamy, no 12th man army, against a team that's 3-0 and they are on fire. Ariman, does leaving home scare you? Or is our team good enough that it doesn't even matter?
To be honest with you, I was probably more scared of the home record because of how. So we've always been strong away from home. We have really good early season momentum. I think in some ways the pressure's kind of off. We have a long way to go in the season. So let's just build on what we have. Let's go out there, have fun, and I think we got them.
Yeah, rabbit off the back for sure, and that's how we're playing. Rai, I want to turn this to you, man. You said a few months ago, actually, before this podcast even was birthed, you said that RR clearly won this whole Jaddu Samson trade, and the way these last few games have gone, it looks like it. He showed up, took 2 wickets in the first over against his old team. Now he's coming for us. Are you scared? And do you hope you're wrong?
I hope I'm wrong, but definitely there's a part of Jaddu that's still CSK. And after what he did to them, I think he might want to put on a show, right? To basically show every CSK fan that what they missed out on. So I think that's the tour he's on. But in terms of the trade, guys, just to point out something, Samsung's definitely doing badly. So that helps the optics and everything that's happening. But the fact that Rajasthan is doing this well without Sam Curran in their team, which was a part of that trade, is pretty mad, right? Like if that guy was in this team, they would have another bowling option, another player that they could obviously play with Jaddu. So basically they got 2 quality all-rounders, international, for Sanju Samson, obviously, as you can see. And given that everyone looks at it from like player to player, but what I was looking at, and I think what most people did, including the management at Rajasthan, is that what works for them, right? They're like Suryavanshi, Jaiswal, young, 25, 15, Dhruv Jurel, right? Riyan Parag, 20-something, 26, captain. This is a young squad, right? And there was definitely a rift between Sanju, what was happening, and the direction they wanted to take. So keeping all of that in mind, they fixed and got what they wanted in the trade. And now it's paying off. So I think no questions asked in terms of and how the trade played out for them.
Suryavanshi, bro. What the hell? How do you plan for someone who has no fear because he's probably not even old enough to understand fear? What do we do?
I mean, there's not much you can do. You just have to hope that he hits one up in the sky and we get him out early. Because I mean, once he gets going, he can really like destroy anyone. And he doesn't care about matchups. He doesn't care about the bowler. It could be Duffy. Anyone could be steaming in, and he's going to go for it. So I think, yeah, he doesn't understand fear, and that's something that we need to be wary of.
Nice. All right, guys, rapid fire. Just answer the question, 1 word, yes or no. Did the shortened game against Mumbai favor Rajasthan? Number 1. And number 2, if our game against them on Friday is rained out and shortened, does that favor them or us? Ayush, let's go you, then Rai, then Ariman.
So I think the answer is no for me, and I don't think it's going to be advantage or disadvantage for either team going into the next game as well.
Okay. So neither, Rai?
Yeah, same. I don't think it makes any difference because both our teams are extremely balanced, and I'm sure we'll put up a much better bowling performance than Mumbai did yesterday to begin with. So it'll be an even contest.
Okay. Ariman, what do you think?
I'm going to go ahead and say yes. I know the teams are balanced, but RR is pretty top heavy. I think we probably bat slightly deeper. And more importantly, our middle and tail has batted more this tournament. So longer game favors us.
Agreed, guys. I was going to say, from my perspective, I thought the shortened game not only favored RR against Mumbai, but it would if they had the same situation against us. For the same reason you said, Ariman, that I think they're so top heavy that if you only play 11 overs and 7 of them are their best players, right? Jaiswal and Suryavanshi, right? You're not getting to see their underbelly because of the shortened version of the game, right? I agree with you.
I think it's
we
quite
have
the
no-
opposite, actually. I actually think it's quite
Go
the
ahead.
opposite. You guys are not looking at it from the POV that if it's 11 or a 10 over game, I don't have to play my worst bowler. So if I can avoid that because it's a shortened game, I think we're definitely up for it. And if it's a batting order thing, we can always push our players one up, right? Depending on if we're batting first or chasing. So I think I would have to disagree with you guys there.
Right, no, that's fair. I mean, I hear what you're saying, except for one thing is you can't ever play just your 4 bowlers, because even in a shortened game, each bowler has a shortened overs they're allowed to bowl. Like, for example, 11 over game, 5 bowlers bowl 2, 1 guy bowls 3. That's the rule.
Yeah, but
right.
yeah, I agree
Not
with
like
you. But
your
my
4
point,
top bowlers get to only bowl. You still have to
yeah,
bowl
but
Abhinav.
in this game at the stadium, Krunal's going to bowl, right? Suyash is going to bowl. Bhuvi is going to bowl. Duffy or Hazelwood is going to bowl, right? These are my 4, right? And you can do the math. If I have that one, I'm okay to give that one over to even a Romario on a pitch like that, even though he's been getting hit in the Chinnaswamy, which is a flat deck. But I think that hard on length that Hardik Pandya bowled yesterday is a template that's the line and length you have to bowl. So I would say we don't even need to bowl up.
No, absolutely. I think, yeah, you're right in that, if it's played out that way, Duffy could get 3 or Bhuvi gets 3. And then everyone you named gets 2. And maybe Abhinandan and Romario get 1 each, right? Because, bro, I'll tell you, if you don't bowl Abhinandan at all, then Romario bowls 2. So then that becomes the weak point. You're just shifting from one to the next. Either way, look, man, I think I was coming from a different place that, like, I've watched a lot of football. And what I see is, like, you can beat a team better than you in 90 minutes if you defend, you get lucky, you score a goal on the counter. But if that game was 120 minutes, if that game was 180 minutes, that the class shows eventually. So I think my perspective, guys, is that RR kind of got lucky with the rain because Mumbai's class would have shown a little more. And if it happened against RCB, I don't want a shortened game, not just as a fan. I think we would suffer more than them. Anyway, just want to move on to why I think so is, damn, we have a team in form, guys. Editor, put up our screen. All right, guys, this was our team against CSK. The elephant in the room, Josh freaking Hazelwood. Is he fit? And if he is, who makes way for him in a team that's done quite okay without him? Ayush, you first.
I mean, I think we not change the 11 for now and just give him. I'm not saying he doesn't make the 11 going forward. I think just give him some more time, make sure he's totally fit, and then also give a chance to all the other players to see if, like who can continue their form, and like maybe Romario, like one more game and see how he does. Things like that, because Hazelwood can step in for anyone anytime. He's clearly the best player, best bowler that we have. And so I'm saying we can take one more game to figure out who needs to make way.
Okay, agreed with you there. I do want to see him selfishly though. Rai, you talked about this plan that you saw on Instagram in our last episode. I think in case people missed it, let's talk through that, because if we do bat first, that's what I want to see.
If we do bat first, I just obviously the plan was pretty clear, which is that you put Romario and Hazelwood on the impact player list, and then depending on if Romario bats or doesn't bat, then you make that call, right? Which you do have the flexibility of doing. But given that the management has not done it in the last game as well, when they could have, and Romario's into bat after David, so it's pretty uncertain, right? So I think for the balance, and more than anything at this point, I don't think Hazelwood is fully fit, because I think if he's fully fit, they will put him in, right? And to make matters more in terms of the balance that we have, we won 2 games and Duffy has played really well in both. So you cannot drop a person who's in.
Yeah, man, fully agree there. Ariman, I want to turn this on you, and let me do it this way. Here's the rule. You can make one change to our 11, whatever you want. What's that change going to be?
I agree with Ayush. I think Hazelwood is our best bowler. And so even if it's not now, it's only a question of when we see him. So as soon as he's ready to go, we bring him right in. I think we're playing well, but he probably takes us up a notch or two. And it's probably a really, really hard call. But if we're bowling first, I think they'll drop Duffy. And if we're batting first, we'll go with Rai's plan.
Okay, Yeah, no, I would love Rice Plan is great. That's what I want to see, guys, but I don't want to bat first. So I
But
think we'll
we never see that though. I think like I wish teams used the impact player in a more strategic manner, but just doesn't happen. I think teams prefer to go with like a fixed 12. I don't know if it's like a mental thing. It's just a mindset for the players as well, the surety of starting the game and like being in the 11. But yeah, like I wish we could play around with the impact player a little more.
yeah,
The
no,
other
fully.
thing I would say is that Hazelwood usually takes the first change, but Duffy takes the new ball. So we may see two changes to bring Hazelwood into the side. So they may start with Mangesh to open the bowling and drop Abhinandan, and then bring Hazelwood on in the first change. And they're probably saving Mangesh for that. He's also left-handed, which adds a different dynamic to the pace attack as well.
Yeah,
But are
man.
we sure Mangesh is fit? Otherwise, he would have been in the impact subs, which I don't think he's been named as one of the subs at all.
True. I've seen Rasik Dar as the sub in case we ended up going that option instead of Suyash.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
not sure. Not sure. That's really been a weird, man. Right? I know you've been to 2 games and you talked to me about the team bus, right? And like kind of the photos of our players. And you mentioned something about Mangesh. Why don't you say it now for the crowd? Because I'm surprised we haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, maybe he is not fit, right? So we can fact check that for our viewers as well to see if he's on the bench as well for the 2 games. But yeah, he's definitely a poster boy because he was on the posters in the stadium right in the middle. So I'm definitely of the opinion that they do rate him highly, right? And they are excited to unleash him at some point. So it'll be good to see. But again, no complaints if you won 2 games comprehensively, not changing anything.
Yep. And we won 2 games comprehensively. Man, these guys won 3. Let's get their lineup on the screen right now. Yashasvi freaking Jaiswal. Wow. Dhruv Jurel, Rian Parag, young but talent. Yeah, for sure. Shimran Hetmeyer, could he be that ex-RCB player that hurts us? Donovan Ferreira. Who the hell Ferreira? Sorry. Jaddu, Jofra, Nandre Berger, Tushar Deshpande, Sandeep Sharma, Ravi Bishnoi. Not a bad team at all. Ariman, if you were making today, right now, based on current form in the IPL today, the most dangerous T20 team, how many players from their team do you think make it? Because I think the answer might be scary.
You're right. I think they have 2 or 3 players in top form, but I don't think that's something for us to worry about. So their 2 openers are an obvious pick, but I think the best opener is playing in red, and that's Virat, of course. I think Bishnoi is in really, really good form, and I think maybe the pitch and the conditions favor him, so I would be scared of Bishnoi. And something about Jofra as well, I think he's kind of bringing back some of his best form. He's hitting some good line and length. I think this morning he really troubled the Mumbai batsmen, so that would be another player to watch out for.
Yeah, no, 100%. We're definitely going to go into matchups and stuff. Right, let me turn this on you. You called very early in our bold predictions like 2 weeks ago before the season started that this is a scary team. And you called out their bowling as the reason for it. Man, I watched the game today and I'll tell you, I think their batting won their game against Mumbai. So I wanted to ask you, what do you take away from their dominance in yesterday's game?
Yeah, there's one way of looking at it, but you still have like Mumbai Indians batting lineup is no joke, right? In terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever you want to say. So I think for them to be restricted, they were actually 50 for 4, for 5 at one point. Like it was that bad. And then obviously Navandeep played a knock at the end. Overall, the bowling is really balanced, right? They have their spin duo, Jaddu and Bishnoi, right? You've got your Ishpande or a Sandeep. So I said 6 solid bowling options every game, right? And no matter what you say, the reality is that bowling win you tournaments, right? Batting can win you a match. Against like a clash of titans or whatever you call on a balance, this is the game that it's going to be because I feel like our batting, their bowling is going to be.
Yeah, 100%. Ayush, want to turn this to you because I can always count on you and our viewers should count on you to make us feel better. These guys really talked up RR. Why don't you tell me about their weak spots?
Well, it's tough to think of a weak spot, to be very, very honest. I can only, like, instead of pointing out their weak spot, I'm just going to say that if there's any team in better form than RR is RCB. So I think we will give them a fight. I think the Mumbai game is not, a great game to look at because, first of all, it was a shortened game, like we already discussed. Even though Mumbai's team is stacked on paper, I don't think they've really fired this year as well. So I think if anyone can give a challenge to Rajasthan, it's RCB, and I would love to see that. And like Aryaman already mentioned, the pressure is off because we have 2 wins on the board. Yeah, it's not that stage of the season where we're worried to lose a game.
Okay. Man, I feel a little unfulfilled. I need our viewers to hear a weak spot, but okay, it's fine. I'm gonna give you the weak spot, man. For me, I think hot take, but Dhruv Jurel and Riyan Parag is actually their weakness, and I'm gonna explain why. I know they're great players and they're really good players. But for me, I think they both have very integral and crucial roles that I'm not sure they're good enough to hold. And the reason I want to say this, I know Jurel is obviously a solid punt replacement for tests. I know Parag has had a bunch of good innings and he can turn his arm around and bowl a few overs, take a few wickets. But I've seen distinctly in my life, maybe 6 or 10 or 8, I don't know, but I've seen a lot of times Dhruv Jurel batting at the striker end in a chase, losing a game by 3 or 4 runs. Right? Like for me, what I'm calling out is a little bit of the underdeveloped, not really a champion mentality. Like, dude, I'll ask you guys, have you ever seen Virat at the crease in a chase and we lose the game and he's not out? Well, I've seen
Yeah,
Dhruv Jurel do that a bunch of
I actually have an answer for you. I think the
Go
RR
ahead.
management think the exact same as you do, and that is why he's batting at 3 and not at 6 this year. And Jaddu is replacing him, who basically does what you said. Hence the reason why they're stronger this year. I agree
Yeah,
with you,
but I
but
don't
that's the
think
reason
he's a
they
3
failed.
either, man. I don't
No,
think
he
he's
just
a 3.
scored he's a technically really good batsman. He scored a
Agreed,
74 in the
agreed.
game before. He's in form. And I do think that in that team with those bashers around him, you need a player of his class in terms of
Like
batting
an
ability.
anchor.
So I think he fits in. Yeah, I think.
But also,
Sure.
if you have to mention Parag and Jurel as a weak link of the team, we already know how strong the team is.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
that's a really good point. But guys, I promised you a few weak links for me. Get their openers early. Like, imagine if they're 3 down in the power play again. Get into Jurel, get into Parag. That's the blueprint of how we're going to win this game. Even better, we win the toss, we chase, and we do this in the first innings. Anyway, we obviously can't control that, guys. What we can control, though, is, guys, 3 specific key matchups. Winning these is like winning 5 overs of a game. Gentlemen, let's go around the room and do one each. Let's do Rai, Ayush, then Ariman.
I think a key matchup is definitely going to be, like I've mentioned already, the bowling versus our batting, right? So we have that, like, especially like someone like a Sandeep as well, who's shown us to trouble Virat in the past. Who's in the power play, bowls in the death, dot balls in the game against MI as well in 11 over game. I think that counts for something as well to show how accurate he is. And he's just like one of the linchpins on their bowling attack. So it's going to be a good matchup to see Sandeep versus our openers, right? And Sandeep versus Tim David and our bashers at the end as well. So it'll be a really good contest.
Yeah, dude, Sandeep. I feel like in that RR jersey, I've seen many, that fifth stump line, Virat goes for it, cover drive, edges. Man, I don't want to see that manifest, right?
Yeah, the like just to like won't take too much more time, but I think it's something to do with the action and his height, right? So he's actually a lot skiddier than people think, and that is why he doesn't give you that bounce which a Surya, the way Rohit got out yesterday, is an example of that, which is the bounce is lower than other bowlers and he's skiddy and accurate. So it's like if you miss, he hits every time, right? So you have to be dead on with your plan.
And dude, he's a wily character, man. We've seen him for so many years. Like, he's been around the block. He's hit for 6s. It doesn't bother him. He'll come back and try his plan again. Ayush, what's a matchup you're looking forward to or not looking forward to, actually?
I mean, my number one was actually Sandeep Sharma to Kohli as well. That really scares me out. But if I were to choose another one, I'd probably go for like Duffy versus Suryavanshi. And I already mentioned that before. So like Suryavanshi is going to go for it no matter what. And if it clicks, then our best bowler is going to be taken to the cleaners very early. And that's not going to be a good sign for us.
Yeah, let's call that another reverse manifestation. You said it, so it won't happen. Ariman, last matchup.
So Bishnoi is the purple cap holder. and Jaddu has started really well. So this tells me that there's a good amount of grip and turn on offer on this surface, especially compared to our home deck. And this is why I think a key matchup is going to be our spinners versus their spinners. So we have Krunal and Suyash, finger and wrist spin. They have Jaddu and Bishnoi, finger and wrist spin. So I think it's a classic case of which spin attack can execute better. Interestingly, their team has a lot of left-handers, so I would suspect that Krunal plays more of a choke control kind of role with his left hand finger spin, and I think we may see Suyash go for a little bit more variations and maybe take a couple of wickets. I wouldn't be surprised though if we can get into their openers early that Rajat will bring Krunal on as a wicket-taking option in the power play. He's going to bring that outside edge into play, bowl those like wide of off-stump balls to the right-handers, which is Jurel and Parag, and maybe try to force a third wicket. So I'm hoping that's how it
A
goes.
fast bouncer, everyone. A fast bouncer, you missed that.
Yeah, you missed that one, dude. Against the left-handed like Dubey, I could see if Jaiswal or, Suryavanshi are still there, dude, Krunal's aiming for the head, man. Our man, Mr. Aditya Rai, made a prediction in one of our videos. Guys, editor, please clip that video. And after this, you guys should go watch that. But Rai, you said Ravi Bishnoi is your pick for the purple cap. Man, he is killing it. So I thought Ayush, you should give him credit, but it's okay. I'll do it. No worries. Guys, I want to tell you my favorite matchup, and I'm surprised no one took this one. But it's Jofra versus Salt. Little bit of backstory. Actually, they both grew up playing middle school, high school in Barbados. Actually, and now they're obviously both teammates in the England team. They played in different county schools and they played against each other, I think, as early as 15 or 16 years old. So these guys are like really, really good friends. And, they are both not the kind of people that will back down from any fight. Jofra is going to steam in and Salt is going to hit him up. Awesome, guys. My favorite part of this preview, my favorite segment, I think, yet. The good, the bad, and the bold. Let's start with the good. Rai, what's the best thing about this matchup from an RCB perspective?
I think it has to be the form that we're coming in with, but also our away record last year. So I think our bowling is even better away from the Chinnaswamy because I think our stadium and the pitch really takes out a lot of the skill. So I feel like our bowling does even better outside. So that's the biggest good. And I think they're going to flex in this game. I have a feeling. So that's definitely a good.
Wow. Dude, man, I love doing this show with you guys because, man, I swear I would have picked not playing at Chinnaswamy as the bad. But now you're telling me that could be actually the good, and this is why we're here, guys. We have, 4 people, different opinions, all with one goal, 2 points. Anyway, Ayush, on to you. Usually you're the optimist in the room, but try to put on the other hat. Like, what are you scared of?
So I'm just going to go back to preseason to speak about the bad. And I think, like you already mentioned, Rai had called out the purple cap holder as Ravi Bishnoi. I had mentioned Suryavanshi as one of the orange cap contenders. And if I'm not wrong, Bharat had also said that he's giving a shout out to Jaiswal for the orange cap. And that was all preseason, without looking at the form of the batsman, just on paper and class in general. And like we're 3 games in, and all 3 of these players are like playing really, really well. So what we were scared of is actually happening. And so they're in form, quality players.
Fully agree, man. And guys, with my personal, again, if you haven't watched it, editor videos here, my personal picks were actually crazy. I picked Sanju Samson for the orange cap and Noor Ahmad, wicketless, still in 3 games for the purple cap.
We're not talking about this, please.
I just wanted to say, and I said it in that episode too, guys, I'm just reverse manifesting. Clearly mine is working and none of yours are. Okay, so 1-0 to Adi there. But either way, okay, Aryaman, you can pick either, man. Is there a good or bad? Whatever you want.
I would say this is a wild card, but Jitesh, Romario, and Krunal haven't come to the party yet to bat. And that's a big question mark for us. I think we're due a big innings from one of them. And I have a feeling it's going to be tomorrow.
Okay, that would be great. I thought you were going to take it a different way, but I'm happy with the way you took it. Guys, okay, speaking about what I'm happy with, last week, Ayush, Bharat called myself and you out by saying, and I quote, I thought this segment was supposed to be bold predictions. I'm hearing very safe and on the fence answers. Well, Bharat isn't here today, guys, but his words are still here. So Ayush, you and I, we're gonna go bold today. Let's do bold predictions. Ayush, you kick it off, then Rai, then Ariman, and I'll go last.
Cool. So I'm gonna say Virat to score between 60 and 70. Is that specific enough, or do you want me to go down to the second digit as well?
No, I'll take it. Virat between 60 and 70. Dude, I'll even tell you right now, if it's more than 70, we'll give it to you as well. I don't know. Audience decides, right, by the way. So anyway, Rai, what do you think?
My bold prediction is Rajasthan's going to be, or actually, you know what? I'm going to go even better. I think Suryavanshi and Jaiswal and to both be combined, right, as the opening partnership, less than 20 runs.
Whoa.
Wait, okay, just since we're doing this live, right? Do you mean the individual scores adding up will be less than 20 runs? Or do you mean their partnership is going to be less
No,
than 20?
individually their scores are going to be less than 20. Because
Okay,
that'll
that's
be bold,
bold.
right?
That's
yeah,
bold.
because that'll
That's
just be
bold.
one wicket. Yeah.
Dude, that's not only bold, that is beautiful. That would be beautiful. Oh man, when Suryavanshi cries after Duffy gets him out, man, I'm gonna message you right then.
Bro, but
Anyway.
he actually gets like very
Yeah,
upset
he
when
cries,
he gets
bro.
out.
He
Like he's
actually
like, what
cries.
the hell? Yeah.
No, but you can tell what a kid he is. And that's why, in the intro I said, like, dude, he's not scared because he's not even understood fear yet.
Guys, I have to mention this, which is he has said, guys, his exact words at this age. What is his thing to achieve in the IPL apart from win the title is to beat 175 is what he said, his exact words. And he scored 175 in the final of the Under-19 World Cup, right? In 80 balls. But that guy's dangerous too. That kid has too much clarity for his age.
Dude, totally agree. And guys, I was just gonna point this in before you, Ariman. Sorry, I'll go to you after. We did this bold predictions for the last few weeks, and we want you guys to get involved with us. So please get in the comments, give us your bold predictions. We're gonna clip on the screen some of the best ones. Right, what you said actually was a bold prediction made 2 weeks ago by one of our viewers. I'm not sure who. I think Jeev something. Editor, please clip the right comment. But he said Suryavanshi Jaiswal fastest 150 partnership. And I believe he might have said as well that Suryavanshi breaks 175. So if that's true, guys, let's see it on the screen. It's just not going to happen against us. Ariman, on to you. What is your bold prediction for the day?
My bold prediction: Suyash man of the match, 3 wickets.
Wow.
I think Bishnoi is good, but Suyash is a little bit slept on. We keep harping on about this, but we have an unforgivable deck back at home. So I think he's going to be like excited to play with some tools that actually help
So
him.
just to be clear, Araman, 3 wickets and man of the match, right? Like the trophies in his
If he
hand.
gets 3, we'll give man of the match, bro. Even without the man of the match, we'll give it to him.
But he's like Bishnoi is good, but I'm an RCB fan, so it got to be Suyash.
And that is talking about.
He's underrated, bro. He's got a deceptive action,
Yeah, we
Okay.
saw that against KKR when we were playing against KKR. That is.
I know.
Yeah. This is going to be one of those games.
Ayush, why do you bring up bad memories, bro? Anyway, it's fine. He's on our team now. It's fine. Suyash is with us. All right, guys, my bold prediction, and I'm going like last time I said DDP 50. I thought that's bold enough, but clearly DDP is class, man. Like calling a 50 from a class player isn't bold. So I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna actually involve 4 variables in today's prediction. Okay, so let's just see how this goes. I'm going super bold. But here's what I'm saying. I'm saying Jaiswal, Parag, and Dhruv Jurel combined scores are gonna be less than Vaibhav Suryavanshi. So I'm basically calling Suryavanshi scores more than all the other 3 players combined. Is that bold enough, guys? I don't know. Rai, Ayush, I have another one if you don't like that one.
No. Please, no. Stick to your bold, dude. I'm happy.
Yeah,
I'm
let's go,
excited.
dude. 4 variables. 4 variables, man. Rai stops
I'm
at
just
2
scared.
easily,
I'm just
but-
scared. I'm just scared, Araman, that if say Suryavanshi is hit like 60 or something or 70, right? And then these guys cumulatively come and hit.
No, I think it's going to be...
Like these bold predictions, which are in favor of RCB in a way, right? Like hopefully...
Hey, but if Suryavanshi scores 30 runs, right? Which is decent
Yeah,
for
obviously.
him.
Yeah,
I would
like
take
we can-
that. But all
Let's
of the
hope
other
for
guys are sub 10. And
Yeah,
my
then I
prediction
hope
is still true.
Suryavanshi gets out on 0, bro. 1.
Then my prediction.
Let's hope even better.
No,
Then the
it'll be-
other 3 have to.
I wouldn't mind seeing duck, 1. And then Adi still gets his prediction.
Yeah, I'll take it. Duck, go. All right, guys, that's been our bold predictions. Do leave us yours in the comments, and we're going to clip the best ones, obviously, whether they're true or not, and show it in the next episode so you guys can join this bold prediction segment just by getting in the comments. Anyway, two form teams in the IPL 2026. Guwahati, pace friendly, also spinner friendly, but can go for runs as well. Friday night is going to be exciting. We're going up against 3-0. Can we make it 3-0? Or will this young, talented Rajasthan team hand the defending champions their first taste of defeat? We're going to be without our 12th man army for the first time. Jofra Archer is going to be steaming in. Jaddu is going to take on Kohli. And a 15-year-old is going to come out to bat like he's on a mission. And guys, if there's one thing I can wish for, and I hope I called it right here, I want to see Josh Hazelwood again. This is the kind of game you started watching cricket for. So hit that like button, share this with an RCB fan, and let us know your predictions and thoughts in the comments. And also, guys, subscribe if you haven't already. We just hit 500 and, 500 of you guys found us early. We love you all. We're so grateful for your support. All right, our boys are going to Guwahati on Friday, and they're coming back with 2 points. Playing bold.